What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dummy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video, and we got a brand new documentary coming out from a basically unknown group. They call themselves Sparrow Media, Black Sparrow Media to be more precise. And when I was doing a bunch of research into these people, they really weren't interesting to say the least. They seem to just be a media organization that do a lot of filming, but they decided to come together with a bunch of gaming activists to put out a very particular and very informative documentary. And we had the trailer released just a few days ago. And now when it comes to this documentary, I want people to know that yes, it is 100% the most virtue signaling of virtue signaling documentaries to date, and focuses heavily in on one very particular ideology, that being racial dynamics, as it is none other than called gaming while black. But why don't we take a look at what this documentary has to say, shall we? And before we get too far into this, I do have to let you know they are awful at their job. For those that might be listening in relatively your right earbud or something like that, or might be having issues with the right side of your headset, I want you to know they only have audio coming out to the left side of the stereo system. So they already screwed up from the get-go. And I am saying this mainly for the video because I don't know what the heck to tell you.
There were just little breadcrumbs along the way of oh, wait a minute, there's me in here somewhere. You want people to just recognize that this is important without the extra gasoline on the fire.
Well, yeah, I do want people to recognize, characters are okay. It's okay to have a black character here or there. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. The thing is, you guys like to take it over the top, as you continue to do throughout this entire documentary little snippet.
I want to see more creators that look like me.
There's been a lot of
Why do you need to see more creators that look like you? Why is that important? Oh, they'll tell you.
examples of representation of black people in games that have rubbed me the wrong way.
Why do they rub you the wrong way? Oh, they don't tell you. They just say that it's racist.
The moment I heard oh, we don't want to help you because we don't know that many black folks, I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it myself.
Okay, if they don't, one, I highly doubt that's true, but two, if that's the case, go out and do it yourself. Nobody's stopping you except yourself. That's fine. I don't have a problem. But guess what? Then you have to start realizing that different people are going to react to this differently than you. It's okay. It's not racist if somebody doesn't want to watch or play your games. Oh, looky who's there. If you guys can't tell by the way her back of her head looks, this is Alyssa Mercante, because guess who comes up later in this documentary? Alyssa Mercante saying some of the most smartest stuff in all of games journalism and games media.
Just because I happen to be black doesn't mean get him show black things. He listens to rap, he likes basketball. I grew up playing baseball. I love hockey. I'm Canadian.
What's a black thing? He likes listening to rap. He likes playing basketball. Okay, not everybody does that. I'm a white guy. What do you think I am? I get that you're trying to say, hey, you know what? These are stereotypical things. We don't all agree with this. Well, that's fine. I can agree. Not just because somebody's black doesn't mean they have to be doing that. But I mean, statistically speaking, more than likely you are. So what's a black thing? I don't know, but these people don't even explain any of this stuff.
Just make the person great who just happens to be black.
Yeah, I can agree with that one. Just make him great who happens to be black. But the thing is, you're in a documentary all about pushing more black voices and pushing more black identity politics. So I don't know what you're trying to say here. Well, I agree with your statement, but the thing is, this is all about the exact opposite of making characters by black people for black people. And if you don't like it, don't buy it. Okay, then I'm not going to buy it. Just make a good character. I can agree with that statement. Don't focus in on his skin color or her skin color. Don't focus in on any of these things because it doesn't matter.
Sometimes to write for black voices, you need a black voice behind it.
See, how does that make sense? Just make a good character that happens to be black, but then you also simultaneously say, sometimes to make a black character, you need a black voice behind it. You see, those two things don't exist at the same time. One is just make a good character. The other is, no, it needs to be known to be a black character. It needs to be focused in on being a black character. You can't have both. But they don't care about this. They only care about pushing a narrative.
We stand with the people who work at our studio. We stand with a more
Hi,
diverse
Alyssa.
industry. We support the concept of a more diverse industry, telling more diverse stories.
Here it is, though. Again, that one guy said, hey, just make a good character that happens to be black. And you see what they're saying. You see what everybody else is saying. No, we need these diverse stories. We need people to know that they're black. We need people to understand this. And by the way, Alyssa, I thought you didn't have any jobs. I thought you didn't have any marketing. I thought you were, jobless and stuff. That's what one of the main points of the reasons you're suing Smash JT is because he destroyed your reputation. I mean, here you are in a documentary, so there's that. But at the same time, everything else that they're saying here, they're telling you, you need to know that these people are black and they should only be written by black people. You can't have it both ways. It needs to be one or the other. And nobody gripes about diversity in games. They gripe about forced diversity and the over focus on identity politics, intersectionalism, woke agenda, if you want me to just spell it out to you. They are tired of that. They are tired of the politics. They don't care about anything else. Take a look at Yasuke from Assassin's Creed Shadows. He's a black man in feudal Japan going around being an assassin. That doesn't really make sense. It would make more sense if you wanted to focus in on a black character doing stuff with Adewale again, but you guys don't really want to do that. Or you could go over to Africa and find an area to do stuff there. There's some great stories over there, but you don't want to do it. You want to commandeer other areas. That's what people have a problem with, and that's what people like to point out, but you don't think that. You think, well, they just hate black people instead of something else.
There's plenty of games out there for you to buy. If you don't like this, don't buy it.
And guess what? People don't. And here's this fat retard to just wrap it all up. And I'm going to remind you guys, this man did an interview with Alyssa Mercante at the height of all of her controversy, in which they continue to double down, triple down, say that all the hatred that's coming toward Alyssa Mercante is just harassment, all while at the same time they belittled and attacked Stellar Blade for people wanting it to not be censored. And he decided to smite Eve and say she had a medium ass and a subpar ass, and it's not even worth trying to get it uncensored. Yes, this is what this guy has said on podcast interviews and stuff. He's the woke as woke could be.
Like, I want them to understand that, like, this is for you, like, in a real way.
Oh, that is tough. That is tough.
But here's the thing. There's one person in this entire interview I agreed with. There's one individual I agreed with. Just make a good character that happens to be black. But everybody else said, no, you need to focus in on it being black. You need to focus in on them being black. You need black people to write this so that people understand that it's a black person. Why can't you just make a good character that's black instead of virtue signaling all the time? But then we could go through all the people that were involved in this. And again, Black Sparrow Entertainment is a garbage company already, because I could just tell by the quality of this documentary with this trailer, because you only have audio coming out of one side of the whole thing. I can only hear it out this side here, guys. So, okay, you already failed on your basic things that you need to do. But then let's scroll through everybody you had involved in this stuff. We can see Jamal Page. He's the creator, director, producer at Black Sparrow Entertainment. We then had James Davis over here, famously former associate producer at Diablo 4, coordinator at Naughty Dog, creative director at Rooster Teeth. Well, Rooster Teeth doesn't exist anymore, so we already know where this is going. You're in association with Naughty Dog. We already know who Alyssa Mercante is, so we don't really need to keep going down this rabbit hole of mediocrity and insanity wrapped up into one liberal bubble. Oh, we also have the tall black nerd who I guess has me blocked for some reason, who is also just another guy who pushes more of this modern day gaming and focus in on black stuff. And you have to know that these characters are black and black be black, 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 black. Oh, we also had Rita MP, CEO of DNR Media Consultancy, co-host of the Danny and Rhina show, What Good Games, preview at Zebra Partners, Xbox G4 TV, she, her. Yeah, and last but not least, my favorite fat black narrator, Khalif Adams, who bowed down at the altar of Alyssa Mercante just to get a little bit of that crumb when all the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff was going on. All these people are nothing more than activists. Again, there was one guy that I liked in this entire documentary that said, basic stuff that we've all been saying, but everybody else is nothing more than an activist. And let it be known, this documentary here isn't made for gamers. It isn't made for people like you and me. It's made for the people at Ubisoft. It's made for the people at Kotaku. It's made for the people that are already in the industry, and it's designed to try to get them convinced that they need to hire more black people to create more black games and push more of these narratives and this virtue signaling stuff, instead of doing what people have been telling you to do and what one guy in this documentary told you to do: just make good characters that happen to be black. But no, they have to virtue signal. They have to try to push an agenda, all wrapped up in a very awful documentary. But hey, as Alyssa Mercante said it, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Well, guess what? People aren't buying it nowadays, and they're taking their money elsewhere. But I'm gonna leave it there. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video go live, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.